Happy Tuesday. Welcome back to the Daily Grind. This is not Mark King, as the title card would lead you to believe. No, this is in fact Daniel Greer right here that I'm with today. I'm Luke, but this is Daniel. How are you, brother?
Man, I'm good. Can't complain. It has been a quiet few days on the Grizz area. Literally, I needed this as much as the team, just in general. Like the
Yeah,
season's gone in a weird way, obviously.
that's a
Um,
nice way to put it.
yeah, and so I took this time to kind of get off of social media, get away from NBA talk, get away from everything. And so I know I think it's Tuesday still. I am excited to get back to Thursday or Friday, even Friday. Sorry, Friday.
Yeah, geez. You
So
don't
I
even
have
know
a
what
few
day it
more
is.
days, yeah, to get there. And so, but honestly, it's been really good. It's been refreshing, and I hope the guys are getting refreshed as well because it's been nice.
Yeah, man. I was talking to my lady and I was just like, it's built into the season. It's here for no basketball.
Right.
We're supposed to be able just to unplug. I hope, and it was nice. It's like you said, it's tough. We do this show. You guys are doing the Grizz 901 live post game show. Like we do this a lot, and it's tough
Right.
to talk about this stuff when
Yeah.
it's getting your ass beat like over and over again, which wasn't the case the past two shows for you guys though, which
Yeah. So yeah, speaking of that, I was going to actually bring this up. Like,
yeah,
listen, the last two games obviously are coming off of Grizzlies wins.
yeah.
That was it Wednesday night game was a very good numbers wise show. Like the turnout was great. The
Mhm.
just like the what everybody brought, the mojo brought to the show, you can tell when the Grizzlies win. And then
Yeah.
Thursday hit, it was our third biggest show of the season.
What?
That includes John Morant, which obviously when he came back, that was a whole different deal. When they played other teams throughout the year, has been great, and a lot of that is from other teams, especially in LA. Those are always big shows numbers wise. That
Yeah.
was the third biggest
Third?
numbers wise show of all season. It goes to show, like, one, how awesome winning is. It
Yes.
just does. But two, how much fun it really is.
Yeah. Yeah. And we're talking about fun. The All-Star game. Did you have fun? Did you watch any of it? I wouldn't say I had fun watching it.
So I watched the Saturday night show more.
Yeah.
I, di-
Yeah.
I didn't really. I tuned in a little bit to Sunday, and this is a little bit of the personal side. My wife came down with strep throat. She doesn't have
Oh,
tonsils. She hasn't had strep throat in 20 years, and she
damn.
now got strep throat. And so I was being a single dad. Which shout out to all of you single parents. It's hard work.
I don't get it.
Uh, yeah, and so it was hard work, but also it gave me a chance to kind of hang out with the kids because I didn't
Oh
care
yeah.
about it as much. And so we hung out on the. I made the sofa my bed. I pushed my sofa and the love seat together and made a
Oh,
giant bed.
that sounds
So
awesome.
I can roll off, right? Because my shoulders take up the
Yeah.
couch, like I'm here. And so sometimes I pushed them together and it felt great for 2 days. And then finally I'm back in my bed. But yeah, I
For two
missed the
for 2
game
days.
just because we watched something stupid. I
What'd you
wouldn't
watch?
tell them that. I don't know. It was stupid. I don't even remember. It's been a
Hey,
few
it couldn't
days.
have been stupider than the game.
No, the game was terrible. I even kept watching my phone. I saw that score and I was like, no, 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 no.
Nope.
It's crazy.
I think Luca's stat line tells you all you need to know. It was what, like 7 points, and half of
Yeah.
them were from the other basket. But I loved how pissed Adam Silver. Adam Silver just did not hide how angry he was, and I thought that was
Good.
hilarious. I don't know what they're gonna have to do to make any of it more interesting.
Yeah.
It's still strange to me how Mac McClung is the winner 2 years in. No shade to
Mm.
Mac McClung, but like there were guys that entered the dunking contest that were like Jaylen Brown was in it. What's his name? Jock. Yeah.
Jacob Toppin is the other guy. Jaime
And
Jaquez.
Hami Haska. Yeah, I didn't want to butcher it. I knew it was 3 J's, but it was not the good 3 J's. The fact that Mac McClung is the most exciting of all that group is just and Mac McClung, if for those uninformed, Mac McClung looks like me kind of, except
Mm.
longer hair and no beard.
Mm.
He's like 6'2". He's not a big. And I don't know how he got over Shaq. That man's big.
He's got hops for
Yeah.
that.
He's got Hobbs.
Yeah. Listen, I had a bet for Jacob Toppin to win the slam dunk competition for simple fact that he's a G leaguer. He has a little, and I said it on the show that I was on. He has some wiggle to him. He has a little bit of showmanship to him, and you saw that. Like his dunks,
Yeah.
he's very lean. He's skinny. I think he was 6'8" or whatever it was that he is. But he is a guy who can dunk really well.
Yeah.
Jaime Jaquez is a front goal, front rim, straight on dunker. Same thing for the left-hander himself, Jaylen Brown, who has to pull out a glove to actually try to win it, but also pulled out his dead friend to try to win it.
I saw that.
Shame. Shame.
I was like, oh, bro, come on, man. You can't be pulling like against Mac McClung. You're going to pull that card? Like, bro, it was a bad look. It was, I mean, did you watch any of the Rising Stars challenge? I just wish.
Yep.
I wish it was more than 50 points. I would watch them play full games of that shit.
Yeah.
Like, I don't.
I think it was good. I think it was interesting. It's a lot better than the actual game itself. But it's always going to be. Those guys are still trying to prove themselves. It's going to be like that.
What would you do to fix the actual game? How do you fix it? Can it be fixed?
Yeah, so this is what I've said. I think I've said it for a couple of years now. Is as you know, the Big Three, right? The Big Three tournament that they do, the 3-on-3.
Yeah. Yes.
And so they've kind of done that, and it's been awesome. Let's bring that to the NBA. So you have 8 teams. There's no more East and West. You vote on all stars.
Oh, cool.
Whoever you want on the team, you vote. The top 8 guys from the fan vote are the captains. So if you're a top 8 selection, you are a captain, just like being voted into the actual starting team. The fans already do 10. You only have 8. And if you want to go 4-4 because you have conferences, whatever, I don't care. So then you have 8 teams of 3 players. How many is that players for the All-Star team?
24.
24. That is 4 more now than there actually is right now. So you're talking about a guy like De'Aaron Fox, a guy like Sabonis actually get in now, right?
Yeah.
And so you have a 3-on-3, 8 teams. You have a Elam ending, whatever. You make a target score, whether it's 20 points, 21 points. If you want to throw it back to old school days, if you want to make it 24 because of Kobe, that's fine. Whatever you want to do, like just shine it up a little bit, and then you literally just have a single elimination tournament. You have pride. It's 3-on-3. You're going to have so many one-on-ones because guys end up going one-on-one. That's what everybody wants to see anyway. But then you have you're more on an island, and so the only issue that you're going to run against is injury. So you have that issue. I think you can somehow figure out a way to not before the games start. I'm talking about during the games. I don't think anybody has gotten hurt in the All-Star game that we know of.
Yeah, I don't think so.
But if for some reason somebody did, that would obviously screw up the game because you don't have a player available to come in because you only have 3 guys on your roster. You could make it 6 teams of 4. That's fine too.
I like the 8 teams of 3. I really like that idea.
Okay, what if you made 6 teams of 4 and then you had 2 alumni teams?
Ooh.
You could have a G League team, you could have a Rising Stars team, you could have a alumni team. Listen, we're talking about the top 2 people that whoever get voted in, top 2, they get to play their choice, and then literally you choose what team you want to play live on national TV. That'd be so much fun.
Man, that'd be fun. That'd be interesting. That 100% would make the players play with more pride because of the one-on-ones. Like, you don't want to go out there and get embarrassed. God, that's
and they're shorter games.
Yeah, shorter. Oh man, have you talked to anybody else about this? Because they got to do something, man. Because it's just not fun. It's not even the shooting's cool, I guess, but like anything, I don't want to watch Cat get 50 points ever in a real basketball game. Why would I want to watch that in an All-Star game where there's no? I could care less.
Yeah.
No,
I
all right, we're gonna take a break. I don't want to spend much more time on that since not a lot of time was spent on it by the players. When we get back, we will just go over the roster. I've not gotten to talk to you specifically about these new guys, who's going to stay, who's going. We're just going to look at the post deadline, do a little post-mortem with how the roster's looking right after this break.
not just the level of individual talent that he plays, but it's also the level of his mind. We haven't gotten cross-court open shot this year. We haven't seen that pass a lot. Number one, you got to respect him going to the basket. There's a roller. I got to watch the roller. He has the mind to be able to say, I see all of that, and now I see this guy over here. I'm going to get him this open shot. How shifty he is to always be going forward. It's usually side to side. Yeah. His dribble moves are side to side, but going forward. Right. Which is very hard to defend. I just want to get you, as many times can I get you to do this? But for him, it's not here. It is here, which is with are his moves to get down the floor. It's awkward for a defender to try to catch a cadence. You dribble. So now what I do is now when you go put that ball down, I'm going for it. But with him, it's hard for my cadence. But what's my cadence for you? I don't know what it is.
Tune in to the Anthony Sane Show Wednesdays and Fridays at 12 p.m. weekly on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
Who do you need to step it up? Outside of David Jones, I think David Jones is David Jones.
I don't think you need him to step it up because he's been performing.
Yeah, like he's David Jones. Like outside of him, he's fine.
I think Quinterly needs to play better.
In what way? Like, I mean, he's facilitating the ball well. I mean, what do you, like, I don't...
To a 12 from the field's not cutting it.
It's not great. It's not great.
And I don't need a runner three from the top of the key with 3.5 seconds left.
Is Virginia the game where Jordan Brown is going to cook? Those dudes aren't looking to run the ball.
Cook what? Dude, I thought he was going to have a freaking night. He came out with that fresh cut, lined up. And then literally within the first 15 seconds, missed a wide open layup. And then picked up 2 fouls right away.
I feel real lied to because I thought we were getting a 20 and 10 guy.
Didn't think it did anything for you.
Well, I think
we all thought we were getting a 20 and 10 guy. And we are getting that in David Jones.
I'm not even getting 20 or 10 minutes out of the guy.
Tune in to Tigers Untapped with TJ Willis and Trey Lasley every Wednesday at 3 p.m. on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
Welcome back to the Daily Grind. I am one of your hosts, Luke Hatmaker. I got Daniel Greer from the Grizz 901 post-game show with me today. You can get access to that, the show you just saw. You can get all this over at bluffcitymedia.co. Right? Yeah, .co. Leave that M at home. You don't need it. But yeah, you can, I don't know what that was. Sorry, I'm working on catchphrases. Shut up, Daniel. But anyway, back to the show. All right. So trade deadline has come and gone.
Yep.
In classic, I don't want to say classic Memphis fashion. I love when this shit happens where it's like every trade deadline, we're like, ooh, what's going to happen? And then it's like trade, small trade, small trade, small trade, small trade. Right. You get Jarrett Culver. You know, just I love weird shit like that. So out of all, how many new guys did we? There's 3 new dudes, right? Yeah. 3 guys, 2 guys that we got in trades, and then
you have Lamar Stevens.
Yes.
And you have Trey Jamison, who's on a 2-way.
Yeah, and then you got I was thinking Goodwin on a 10-day too.
So I don't know how that works because does the 10 days stop at the All-Star break?
Oh, you're right. You're right.
I don't know.
No, I think you're right.
Smarter than me to answer that.
And then, but we also got my personal favorite 2-way player of all time in Memphis Grizzlies history, Yuta the Shooter Watanabe. Anybody listening, if you want to mail me a Yuta Watanabe jersey, I would love you forever. I've been looking and they're hard to find. Like an old hustle jersey.
You in the country of Japan. That's it.
Yeah, I know. Okay. I love him so much. And I got reasons, but what are your thoughts on like the roster now? I mean, because it's definitely a different roster since the last time we talked.
Yeah. Listen, I think that they're getting better around the edges. But let's not fall in love with these players just yet. Actually, you know what? Fall in love with them, but be realistic about it. I think Lamar Stevens is good. Just like we saw with Bismack Biyombo, where does Cinderella lose her slipper?
When's
does he keep going?
Pumpkin? Yeah,
we want to know, like, is he going to be a pumpkin again? I think Yuta is a pumpkin, unfortunately. I think he's fine. Like, he honestly doesn't even know where the slipper is to even have that potential.
It's in the corner, bro. It's in the corner
Well,
for him.
I hope he finds it. But I think that I think he shoots the same percentage of 3-point as David Roddy did. I think he's a guy that you hope goes overseas and plays this offseason and picks up a big contract in the offseason and doesn't exercise his $2 million on the team. That's what I think the Grizzlies hope, because I don't think he's a player for the long term at all.
As much as I love him, I love him. I think that it would be stupid for him to not do what you just said. He would be a fucking, pardon my language, he'd be a fucking king over there. Like if he went over and like played, made a ton of money over there, like he has the potential to be like the next superstar, like in Japan, like he could be that guy. And unfortunately, I just don't think. I think he's got the shots, like I think last year, he was shooting over 50% from corner threes. Like, I know that that's not everything, but like that, I think that's, you don't do that without having some ability. I just don't think that's ever going to get unlocked on our team. He's not going to get the minutes. He doesn't do enough of anything else really consistently enough to warrant the time. I hope he does what you said, because I don't want it to. I want it to be a homecoming, him go back to Japan and just end like that. That way we don't have to make any decisions and it's just cool.
Yeah.
Well, the Lamar Stevens things is different though, because like, I'm with you. I completely agree. It's like I don't. And Grizz Twitter be going hard for him, man.
They always
go hard. God, they always go hard.
I will say that these guys are awesome, and they have been very much a revelation. I think when you get down to the nuts and bolts, are the simple fact that you have Vince Williams and Gigi as rotation players. You have two. You found two. That's all you needed to. That's really all that you need to have a successful year. That's a gap year, right?
Yes.
It's really two. If you somehow strike on a great trade, or if you strike on a great draft pick, that's the icing on the top, right? If you want to put the cherry on the icing on the top, that's Lamar Stevens, or finding another guy like that, a Trey Jemison, who is more than just what he is a two-way player big. Like he's very stiff, he's very raw. But what is great for him is he has a contract for next year. Just like Stephen Jr., they're both under contract for next year. They're both on a two-way, guys. They have time to develop. They need to develop. But you know what they are? Is they are one call away, and they're going to be one call away for next year, and that is awesome. But my question to you is, looking at, Yuta, Vince, Gigi, Trey, all of them, do any of them get into your top 10 rotation? We'll start with 10.
Yes.
How many of those?
Like next year?
Next year, fully healthy. Who of those guys get into your top 10? Because you have Ja, Bain, Jaren, Smart, 4.
I got 2 of those guys in my top 7.
Okay.
I would do Ja, Bain, Jaren, Smart, Luke, or top 8, excuse me. Luke, BC. I put Vince and Gigi. And then I don't know how I get it to do this, man. I get it to do this shit all the time.
You're on a Mac.
Oh.
Do this. You got to do this.
We're going to look insane. We're just, hey. Yeah, so I would take 2 of those guys in my top 8. And if Vince and Gigi continue to develop the way that they are, that's pretty damn good top 8, and
I agree.
And that's with, I'll be damned if Zaire can't still pull a damn 27 burger on national TV. It's so frustrating. I mean, he was so good. Bleacher Report confused him for Vince Williams. It was awesome. I was reading the article and it was like, Vince Williams scored 27 points with Gigi Jackson. I was like, no, he didn't. Wrong guy.
Yeah.
Like if we're banking on those 8 or those 8 guys, and then either Santi or Z as your 9th, or Jitty if he's still on the team, it's not bad.
Yeah, I think that I've always said this about Jitty, is he's a luxury item. If you can afford to have that luxury item, he gets paid $6 million next year. If you can afford to have him on your team, he's one call away. Guy that you can slide into a starting position. He's a Band-Aid, get you by when you need to get by. He's a regular season guy that helps you get through. coach's best friend, great player. When you need him, he doesn't do anything flashy. He's not going to win you games. He's not going to lose you games. He's just a guy, right? He's a luxury item. If you can keep him for the $6 million, great. But you can also trade him because other teams will take him, especially if they want to give just a second back for him. In the offseason, crazier things can happen. But if you look at this, like we talked about those 4 guys, right? You have then Luke as your 5th, at least, and then BC is a 7. As a 6. You only have so many to fill in, right? To get you to the 8 man. And then you're talking about Vince, who's been great, Gigi, who's been great. That's 8 guys. We haven't brought up a backup point guard, which the Grizzlies have shown that they like in D Rose. If he can stay healthy, I think that it obviously can help this team because of those little minutes where he comes in, 10 minutes a game. If he could stay healthy, would be great. I just don't know if he can. But you're talking about him being a 9th guy, somebody you don't need in the playoffs. And then you have the options of, going to a guy that you draft, a guy that you maybe trade for. And that, that doesn't include the center position that we haven't
even talked about that.
Yeah. And so there's so much there that you can have Zaire under contract for another year, knowing that it's expiring. You can possibly have Jake. All those guys are not, and they should not play. And that's the good thing about next season. If you're healthy, they shouldn't play. And that's in the end what you want. And you can still develop Trey Jamison and Scottie Pippen Jr.
I mean, they've done a pretty damn good job that they are next year. If they don't get rid of anybody, you've got Jitty, Z, Santi, D Rose.
I forgot Santi.
Vince and Gigi. They're still all combined making less than $30 million. Yep. Like that's pretty good. Like organizational bookkeeping, like that. They've just done a really, really solid job there. Like the fact that Gigi's going to be making less than $2 million next year is pretty impressive, and Vince is going to be making barely over $2 million. Like the fact that those guys could be 7th and 8th in your playoff rotation, and they're combined making less than $5 million for the next good while. They've hitting on those 2 has made the need for a trade that I think we've been clamoring for. I mean, it makes it a little bit less concrete in my mind, because it's not as, 1, where's he going to play? Who are you not playing? And 2, like, who do you need? I know this summer is going to be crazy, but I just don't know. I don't know who I'm going out and getting. I've been pretty pleased with this team.
They have to get a center. I know they will get a center, whether he's a starting center or whether he's a backup center. I don't know what they're going to do. But 3 guys I'm targeting is Andre Drummond, Hartenstein, and then also Nick Claxton, who's going to be a free agent in the offseason. There are other guys that you can look at. You don't have to spend the Claxton money. You can go get a Hartenstein for the mid-level easily. And if you want to go less than that and you say, hey, we're going all in, we want to sign a guy that's $6 million, maybe 8 at the max for 3 years. So at the minimum, right? 18 to 24 million over the next 3 years. You can get a guy like Andre Drummond 100%, and he fits in with your team. He does what you need him to do. He doesn't need to play down the stretch, because then you can have a Gigi, a Santi, you can have Vince all come in there and make up your 5-man unit to close games. All you're needing him to do is kind of help Jaren get through the minutes of the games, probably the first 40 minutes, and let him sit out the last 8 and let Jaren kind of take over.
Yeah, man, I wrote about Drummond this summer. It's like you need the dude he still got it. If you need a big body who can pull down boards, look no further. The dude is and the dude's a pro. You don't go in a shitty Detroit situation like he was in for that long and still produce, I don't think, without being good.
Yeah, for sure.
But I think you're right. I think center's the one missing piece. We're going to take another break. When we get back, though, we will talk about Gigi. You mentioned like he's been closing these games. Like, do we think he's going to make an all-rookie season? I know Sean Coleman wrote a piece this week about that. I got my thoughts. It's a deep rookie class. We'll go into it a little bit more when we get back.
I'm just big on being able to vocalize what someone's role is. I always thought my best coaches were the people that let me know exactly what you expect from me. Now, I might not like it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Right. But if you come to me man to man to say, this is how we think we're gonna play you, bang, 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 and hopefully everybody understand. I'm not saying that this has not been done with this team. Mm-hmm. I'm just saying from my experience, we all have egos when we get to this game. Right. All of us, to the last person on the bench, you got an ego, but all of us can't be the man.
Yeah.
And now you got to be able to say, okay, he's a man, but what do I do and what can I do to help us be good? And if it's vocalized to you, then you know exactly what. And if I'm out there doing it, and now I'm not getting the result from you, now we got to sit down and have another conversation. But as long as it is told to you, this is what we expect from you, this is how we want you to play, then I feel like, again, keeping his logo.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Tune in to the Anthony Sane Show Wednesdays and Fridays at 12 p.m. weekly on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel. All right, Christian.
Yes,
You are Penny Hardaway.
I'm not.
Yes, you are.
Okay.
Today, you're going to play act. Okay? Gabe, because you're a Jordan Brown apologist, you're going to be Jordan Brown.
I'm a Jordan Brown apologist. Okay.
Okay.
I'll take that.
Y'all are sitting across the room from each other.
I said, don't tweet him hate. And he's like, you're an apologist. Like, good God. But either way, continue. We're in a room together.
Why did things break down?
Jordan, we brought you in this year to be the centerpiece of our offense. You came in out of shape. Let's call it what it is. Call a spade a spade. We play fast. Told you this when we were recruiting you. We play fast. One of the fastest paces in the country. You have to be able to get up and down the floor. You have failed at that.
Oh, well, I'm leaving. So it's fine. Cool.
Tune in to On the Bluff with Christian Fowler and Gabe Kuhn every Tuesday at 12 p.m. on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
Welcome back to the Daily Grind. Sorry, I try to sing on Tuesdays. It's just, I'm Luke. This is Daniel Greery's with me this week. All right, we just got done talking about the roster. We talked about Gigi. Dude has been, I feel weird calling him a dude. The kid, he's 19, man. Like,
Yeah.
he has more in common, like literally, like in every way, with our 13-year-old at home than with me. And it's just like, it's crazy because he's good. He's a hooper, as our dear friend Grayson Allen would say. What do you think the odds are of him making an all rookie team? Is he having an all rookie season for you? And I mean, lately, I would say he has, but I don't know how those awards. I think you got to win. The all rookie teams are, I feel like, the kind of, those are at least some of the awards that you can get awarded without being on a winning team. I feel like most of the time they just award winning. So I think he could, since he's been getting regular minutes, like, since the 13th of January, that's when he played 27 minutes, and he's played over 10 every game since. He's been averaging 14.6 points, 4.3 rebounds on 47.5% shooting from the field, 42% shooting from three. Like, that's pretty damn good. Those are good numbers. I don't know if it's one of those things where it's too little too late in the season. The national TV wins help,
those are big.
Those are big, like the Milwaukee game, that game where he was charming as hell when he realized he was talking to Chuck and Shaq and didn't know. And like, he's doing all the right things publicly, like rebounding from a game that he gets set for breaking a team rule and responding in the mature way. Like, he's doing the right things off the field. I just don't know if it'll matter,
Yeah, no, I agree. Listen, if you look at the stats, I think that they're there. They've been there. I think he's played well enough, but it's still tough, man. He's going up against guys that have a lot more minutes logged, a lot more games played. They obviously are even putting up bigger numbers just because of the actual minutes. So you would have to break it down to maybe like how many like points, per game on a per, whatever basis, per 100 possession basis. You'd have to break it down to that to be able to get him to be into that. But I think it has potential. If you look at it, he's played 23 games so far this season. That's how many he's logged. That's what the stats show just in general. There's 26 games left, I do believe. That gets you to 59.7 games of the 82 games. So he'll play in roughly 60% of the Grizzlies games for the season. That's the biggest thing, is it's a decent number right? It's fine, 60%, but it's barely over half. So can you get that by only saying he's played 60% of the games, and really only so many of those games actually were key games where he's played big minutes. And so I think it's a stretch. I think it will be something that would be awesome if he could get like a third team. I don't even know if they do a third team, but I know they do first or second, but it's going to be tough. I don't think he's first and second. If there is a third team, maybe, but I don't think he's for sure first or second.
Yeah, you know, like the point that you made about, you know, there's people that just played more, you know, like there's been a lot of rookies. Like you look at the Thompson twins, you look at there's a lot of kids, you know, this was a stacked draft class and a lot of these kids are getting miles on them.
Yeah.
You know, he would have to really, really, really ball out the rest of the season. And also, you know, like I was going to ask you, I don't think the rule is the same for the all rookie teams, but like,
I wouldn't assume.
You know, and but we know the NBA cares about availability. Like we know they give a shit about that. So it's like,
there's a difference though. There's a
agreed.
difference.
Yes.
You're not going to have that role in place because of rookies. Rookies are trying to play. The
Yes.
coaches are saying, yeah, you're probably not good enough yet.
You're not doing it.
But eight of the 23 games that he's played this year, he's had 12 or less minutes. And so that's another thing you look at is, you know, we're not talking about many games where he's had real minutes in. And so I think it's great. And I think it's awesome. I don't want to rain on the parade, but I do want to say that I think it would be tough just because of that. But let me give you something, and you have not seen this. I don't know what it's going to look like on your show, but the Sean Coleman special. Sean just texted me while we were in break, and he said the Grizz best 6-game stretch in terms of true shooting was their last 6 games for this season. GG's 20 plus in 3 of the past 4 games. Impact on winning happening more can help all rookies' resume. So what he's doing is kind of bringing up, like, you know, like all the
bell curve.
It brings up all ships, like the tide brings
the tide
ships, or whatever it is. Yeah. And so like when you have somebody that's playing well, it brings up this other guy who hasn't been playing well, Zaire. You bring him up, right? And then so everybody keeps going up and they start playing better. Sometimes it does take a player like a GG who's been playing crazy good. It allows you to hide the deficiencies of other, but also when he's shooting as well as he has, it covers up some of those ugly warts that your team has, a la not having good players. And so
I love Zaire.
Yeah. And Zaire, listen, he was great last game. Who knows if he unlocks something? Maybe it is confidence based because he does not have any confidence most of the time, it looks like. But you're talking about a guy in GG who, when he's hot, he's a guy that could be your secret weapon or your X factor off the bench. When he's hot, you ride him. And when he's not, you know, he just kind of falls in line.
I mean, yeah, like his per 100 possession right now, it's 28.3 points. You know,
right.
like really good. And you know, you, me, Chris, and Nate, shout out those guys. We've been talking a long time about, we've been looking for that dude, that quote unquote Jordan Clarkson type that can come off, get you 20 points off the bench. That's what I mean. Like games where he plays more than 20 minutes, he can show that he can do that. You know, it's just, he's 19. Well, you know, he might be, you know, they always talk about who's going to be that second year leap candidate. I don't know what that's what every NBA fan sounds like in my head. Like a old Southern widower. I don't know. You know, like maybe he's a candidate for a second year leap, like a most improved. I don't know, but arrows pointing up. Let's see if I can get it. Arrows pointing up. Nope, not doing it. Nope. Well, if I didn't get the thumbs up, I'm going to thumbs up the show. That's going to do it for us today. Daniel, thank you for hopping up with me today. When are you guys live next? Friday?
Hey, Clippers, I believe. Friday Clippers. 7:00 game. So we'll be live about 9:30.
It's a home game, I'm assuming? Yeah.
Home game.
I'm going 23rd. To the game next weekend. The Blazers.
Sweet. Saturday or Friday?
Saturday.
Okay.
Figured, you know, get some Scoot minutes, some Scoot versus GG action.
I might go to that Saturday game. Might take the kiddos, but we have so many sports right now. My life is crazy. We're in the middle of, and I know you don't have kids yet, but we're in the middle of crossing over sports. So it's like basketball's finishing, t-ball starting, soccer starting, and it's like kids are going different directions. We're not playing the same sport. Thankfully, this season they played this on the same basketball team. Why we're trying to. I have two girls. They're trying to help
coach,
with. Yeah, and I coach, and they're trying to help with girls basketball in the city, right? And so this is the first time we just went in for it and said, "Hey, let's just have a season with all girls on the team, no boys and girls."
Hell yeah!
And it was kindergarten to third grade. That's crazy. Don't do it. But we're hoping is once the word gets around that that church, that organization is going to keep having girls sports. Like we're going to keep pushing, and I'm an advocate girls sports because one, it does allow them to kind of flourish. It allows them to kind of hide a little bit of maybe they're not as good as the boys at that level. And I think it allows them to kind of be their own self. And so it's awesome. I think next year you're going to see like, hey, then they can split up the ages a little bit more because more girls will say, hey, I'll play because it is girls. I'll play. So it was cool. But we're in the middle of some chaos right now.
I do not envy that. That sounds rough. Good luck. Good luck with that. Y'all, everybody have good luck with your days. Have a good day. I will see everybody tomorrow. Daniel, I'll see you later. And thank you for joining us on the Daily Grind. See y'all, everybody.
See you.